Hey everyone, I'm NornQueenAlexis and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to this simple video where I am going over a really fun list that I put together. I'm actually quite proud of this little list and I think it has potential to be a tournament winning list, but for right now it's fun, so I'm just having fun with it. There's a lot of things in it that you can change to make a tournament Tyranid list. So with that all said, and before we dive into this video, be sure to check out my Patreon. Patreon goes a long way to help making these videos. It helps it so that I can only work a part-time job, especially during a pandemic. And it really helps out, especially this time of year, especially with everything happening around the world. But let's dive right into this. So a lot of you have asked why my name is NornQueenAlexis. Well, NornQueen is the leader of the Tyranids, at least the closest thing to a leader that the Tyranid organisms have. The NornQueen is responsible for, well, developing the army, picking out things that'll work, and ultimately giving and creating all of the different Tyranid units used on the battlefield. So I thought that it was the proper time for me to come and greet you guys with my army. Now, if you guys don't know, I have 12,000 points of Tyranids, though with the new updates I probably have less because a lot of their points went down, including the Hierodults. I'm super excited about that one because Hierodults happen to be one of my favorite little bugs. I'm still trying to save up to get a Roomba to put my Hierophant on top of, so I have a Hierophant just driving around my room. I think it would be a lot of fun. So, I'm going to dive into this list, but before I do, here's the book that I wrote it in. If you want to get this book, you can actually check out, GW/merchandise. Just go to their merchandise section. You can find this book. It's super handy, super useful, and it's pocket size. Not my pockets because my pockets are tiny, just absolutely tiny. But it fits in my jacket, so I like it. So I'm going to be, oh wait, let's show you the models first. Gorgeous. They look so great, don't they? They actually don't. They look terrible. So this Tyranid army is one of my first armies I've ever painted, and it was my first real step into painting a horde army. So please forgive the paint jobs. They're not the best. They're not as good as my Space Marines or my Sisters of Battle, which look 1,000 times better. But, you know, they're Tyranids. I love them. They have a special place in my heart. And because of that, I do have to say this. For every one of my Tyranids that died in the recent events of Blood of Baal, I'm going to repay the Imperium back tenfold. So I'm going to redouble my efforts to push through the galaxy and see this emperor and talk to their father and have a right proper sit down with him and tell them that they need to stop killing my babies. I'm just hungry, like legit. That's it. Anyway, jokes aside. Let's dive into this list. So this is a 2,000 point list, or at least it's a Strike Force game size list. It comes out to 109 power level or 1996 points. Now you could give yourself the Venom Cannon, which puts you at 2001 point, which is super annoying, by the way, but it is what it is. So I just stuck with the Stranglethorn Cannon because it puts me at 1996. Now, again, this is a Strike Force game. We did spend some command points prior to the game beginning, and we did spend actually a lot. No, not a lot, just 2. So we have 10 command points to mess around with in this game. We spent those 2 on Bounty of the Hive Mind for +1 artifact. And we also did the Progeny of the Hive to give an adaptive physiology to another buggy, which is always useful, by the way. They're super good. And because this thing is not a super heavy and instead just a regular bug, you can actually give him one. That's just some advice for a different day. Today, I just used it on other things because I thought it was fun, but I'm definitely going to see about putting it on one of the Hierophants or Hierodules. So leading this army is my Hive Tyrant. My Hive Tyrant is my signature creature. You saw it, and I found a use for Hellbrute. We threw him under my Hive Tyrant. It's giving him a surprise hug. So that Hive Tyrant has wings, scything talons, the Stranglethorn Cannon, which is represented by the claw things that he has, as well as adrenaline glands. Now, he also has the Venom Thorn Parasite, so that his Stranglethorn Cannon automatically has 6 shots, which in my opinion is pretty good. Then he has he has Catalyst, Psychic Scream, and Smite as his powers. I do refer to my Hive Tyrants as male because the Swarmlord is always referred to as male. And as far as I'm concerned, there's only 2 male Tyranids in the entirety of the Tyranid line. And that is the Hive Tyrants, including the Swarmlord, who is the alpha male, which is like the male ant in a, well, ant colony, obviously. And the Trevagon, who is referred to as the brood father, and who carries around the babies similar to that of a seahorse. So just a little bit of lore, I guess. Now the next thing that I have in my army is the Malanthrope, my little tentacle monster. Very popular in Japan. I don't know why. I guess he just is, or she is. It is what it is. She's going to be sitting in the back just giving my Bio-Titans a little bit of cover, you know, that -1 to hit, while they themselves sit in cover because now as monstrous creatures and not as titanic units, they can actually hide in cover, which is super useful. So -1 to hit me, plus a +1 to my armor save, which is already a 2+. Super good. Then I have a Venomthrope. Not a Venomthrope, I am silly. A Neurothrope. The Neurothrope has the Resonance Barb, so he can cast, or she can cast 2 psychic powers in 1 turn, but that doesn't actually unlock another psychic power like I thought it would. It just means you can cast twice and negate twice. So I was a little bit about that, but I did give her the Synaptic Lure and Smite. Now, Synaptic Lure is interesting because I can reroll a charge, and I can reroll I reroll a charge with a unit against the unit that has the Synaptic Lure on it. But it's also good for my Genestealers to just alpha strike something and guarantee that charge because I'm not using the Swarmlord slingshot technique, which everybody knows. Like literally, if you don't know that, it's the most basic thing in Tyranids. It's literally take Genestealers, adrenaline surge them, run them at your opponent, move them again. Hey look, you made 48 inches in 1 turn. Assault. Good job. Basic Tyranid things, but since I don't have the Swarmlord in this list, I decided to do this ability on the Neurothrope because the Neurothrope is going to be mid-range, and I know that's risky, and the Hive Tyrant's also going to be close range, but that's also why I got the Warriors for other Synapse in the backfield. So speaking of those Genestealers, we have a full squad of 20 of them with 3 Acid Moths. Basic, they're Genestealers. I don't really need to explain them. They do that thing that they do best, which is tear something apart. But in this case, I'm actually going to use them very sneakily. I'm mostly going to use them as a counter assault unit, or I'm going to bring them in off the table sides. I know that's weird to say because I just went on a giant rant about slingshotting them into my opponent, but a lot of opponents, they expect that of Tyranids. So instead of just charging them at my opponent, I think I'm going to hide them behind a 6-inch tall piece of terrain, wait, and then charge my opponent when they're not suspecting it. When I can get to something more valuable, why is there a lawnmower outside? I am sorry about that. I don't know if the camera can pick that up, but if it can, I apologize. Moving on, we have 3 Rippers because 3 Rippers. In all fairness, Rippers are the best troop choice for Tyranids simply for objective grabbing because they can hide behind things like the Aegis defense line, most pieces of terrain because they're just so tiny and they can just stay out of line of sight and stay safer than most things. But my typical Nidzilla list just brings 9 of them just as I have to bring these. But nowadays I'm just like, yeah, just 1 unit to sit in the back. And speaking of, we have Daunts. We have 30 of them. I thought we had more than this. I was pretty sure we had more than this. I think we have 2 units of Gaunts at 30. I'm like 100% sure of this. They just have flesh borers. Then I have a unit of warriors at 5 with adrenal glands, scything talons, and death spitters. These are going to be my long range synapse. They're going to be sitting in the back with the bio titans, just babysitting them, just going like this. Okay, guys, so you're doing your best. Good job. Oh crap, something's coming. Do, do, do. I did no damage. Who would have guessed? I'm useless. Just make warriors T5 and they'd be good. I've been saying that since 4th edition. Anyway, moving on from that, we have the 2 barbed Hierodules. I love my barbed Hierodules. They're so great. They're just amazing. They always were amazing. They're now even better. Like, they got weaker, but they got better because they got weaker. That is the weirdest thing ever. It's kind of like if a Hive Tyrant went down to 9 wounds, it would be amazing. Like, he'd have the ability to hide, and that'd be great. But he doesn't. So, you know. So these guys are armed with 2 bio cannons. Now, the old bio cannons used to have the macro rule, which is not a rule in 9th edition. If you guys don't know what macro is because you never experienced it, macro is a ability given to Titan units for taking on other Titan units. It essentially doubles the damage that you would deal to a Titan itself. And what's weird is they just got rid of it across the board. I don't know why, because now Tyranids have absolutely nothing to take on like Super Titans, but I guess we have to just spam plasma and hope for the best. I don't know. I like my Hierodule just popping 2 Titans a turn. That was fun. They're also armed with Hierodule Scythes or Hierodule Scything Talons, which are way better than normal Scything Talons. All the Scything Talons are different now, and these Scything Talons technically don't work with the Blood of Baal book for Scything Talons, I don't believe, because they're not listed in those Scything Talons, but I think they kind of are. I think rules as intended, they were meant to, but rules as written, technically they don't. So these Scythes are Strength +2, which puts it at Strength 10. AP -3, D3 +3 damage with a reroll of 1 to hit. It's honestly kind of amazing, especially if you synaptic lure something that's coming close. You blast something in the distance and then the Hierodule just goes, I guess I'll kill it. And your opponent's just like, it's a gun bug, it's a gun bug. I'm going to treat it like the Tyrannofax, or I'm going to treat it like the Exocrine. It can't fight in close combat, and then this thing just comes in and just smashes you. And then I'm happy because my little happy little bugs are nice and giving you hugs. Then we have the younger sister of the 2 Hierodules. It's like the protective of older brothers, except in this case it's older sisters. It's kind of like my family. That's Jen and Margaret, and then it's me with the acid spray. You know, some spitting acid. Anyway, the bioacid from that thing is heavy 3d6, strength 6, AP -2, 1 damage. It's technically not as good as the Tyrannofax, I don't think, because the Tyrannofax rolls 4d6, because it rolls 2 per if it stands still, and its damage is, its strength is very similar, its AP is very similar, but it's damage 2. So I honestly think the Tyranids is a bit better than the acid spraying one, but at the same time, the acid spray has a further range. So it is what it is. I wanted to bring 3 Hierophants, or Hierodules. That was the point of this list. I would honestly take that one out for 3 Carnifexes going Screamer Killer and just running at the opponent. I think that could be actually a little bit better. But that is the entire list. Now, personally, I think this list is very silly. It's not meant to win. This is just a list that I came up with at the end of the day, and I was just like, I was actually like in bed, okay? Do you see that thing with the dinosaur on it? Yeah, I was in that, okay? When I'm about to fall asleep and I'm like, I can bring a list with 3 Hierophants or Hierodules. So I got up and I'm just like, I need to write this down. I wrote it down. I went into totally the GW app, which is okay. The GW app has a lot of catching up to do to be as good as Battlescribed, but it's not bad. It's just not great. It's good. It's good for a very intro level list building. Like somebody who's brand new to the hobby, definitely use the GW app over Battlescribed, but yeah. So with that all said, I got out and I was just like writing this list down and I'm like, I can bring 3 of these. I can bring a Swarm Lord. I can rush these at my opponent. I could be even dumber. I can bring Warriors. Warriors happen to be like my favorite creature ever. They are adorable and I love them. I love all my Tyranids. Like my little Velociraptor bugs are amazing. And Warriors, I wanted to throw on a list, but I needed to find a reason to bring them and use them. And I think I definitely did. I love them. Like, granted, I could drop the Genestealers for a group of Zoanthropes, and the Zoanthropes are just better. I could drop the Warriors. Actually, the Zoanthropes would do what the Warriors would do, just sit in the back. But there's a lot of things that I could do to make this list even better. But as it stands, this is a fun list. And I kind of want to make fun lists and do reviews of fun lists. Because to me, it's fun and I enjoy it. So if you enjoyed this video, go down to the links in the description down below. It's over here. You can find me on all sorts of social media. Check out Patreon, as I said before. Also, leave a comment for an army list that you want me to review or do a video of and talk about. Like, I kind of want to do these once every 2 weeks, if I can, because I'm really enjoying them. Next one is going to be Baby Marines. Like, if you don't know what that is, it's the little boys. I love them. So, with that all said, I'm NornQueenAlexis. I love you guys. Bye.